Yo guys, James here, and today I'm gonna talk about some of the problems that the TBC beta has in Arena. I don't have it, but from watching the streams, and I watched a lot of streams lately because of TBC arenas, I love them. But because of watching so many of them, there are a few problems with the beta that I can see, and they fixed a lot of the problems already. The beta has many bugs, but now there are some that seem a bit game breaking, and I want to focus on that. So the first one, it's Frost Nova for mages. If you watch streams, you've noticed that mages at the moment only really Frost Nova with the pet or the Frost Nova itself, and just spam Ice Lance into it, and it doesn't break. And even if you have a rogue, for example, going ham on the target, the Frost Nova doesn't really break either, which is a complete bug. Now, I saw some comments on Twitch chat, like people saying that it was like this in TBC, but it very few people say this because they have no idea, but it wasn't. That's why they added deep freeze in the first place, because Frost Nova in TBC breaks so fast. Uh, I remember back in the day they would have to combo the Ice Lance with the Frostbolt, so they would start casting Frostbolt, then Ice Lance, and Frost Nova at the same time. This was the so-called Shatter combo, um, and it's completely bugged. I've seen, for example, Raikou do 6 Ice Lances into one Frost Nova, which is completely bugged. It's not normal. Frost Nova breaks after one Ice Lance. It's not even a thing. So that's the first bug. I think it's super game breaking because Rogue Mage in season one is already extremely strong because of lack of resilience for and lack of stamina and stats overall for the other classes. So if you play Rogue Mage and Frost Nova it's acting like Deep Freeze, then there's no better combo which is not Blizz like. Rogue Mage is very strong in season one in both twos and threes, but it's not this strong where the mage just kind of solos people and the rogue goes on to CC players, and players obviously are abusing this on beta, especially Raiko. Raiko is abusing the shit out of this bug. He just throws Nova as a warrior, starts ice lancing, and Mir goes and does his thing, and they win because of a huge game-breaking bug. I hope they fix this extremely fast. The second one for me, it's the one of the most important as well because I'm a warlock and it's pet AI. It's really buggy. If you send the pet, you need to put it on passive. I always have it on passive, but if you send the pet, you need to command stay and then follow, and you need to spam that for him to come back, which in TBC it's a big problem because SLSL it's the best warlock spec for PvP, and if you lose the pet, you probably lose the game against good players, and you can't really outheal. Health funnel it's not as strong as in Wrath of the Lich King, so and it has like a 20-yard range, so it's extremely hard to keep the pet if the pet is bugged. And yeah, so I hope they fix that as well. It's really game breaking for SLSL warlocks, and even though SLSL it's probably the strongest spec in the game, it's only strong because the pet because of good warlocks pet managing. But if you can't pet manage, the spec just falls over against pretty much everything. And it's not only warlocks, it's also game breaking for hunters with their scorpions, obviously. So I hope they fix this as well before TBC Classic comes, which I think they will. Another bug I want to talk about, it's not really as game breaking, but it's extremely bad for the game, which is MC bug. Yes, TBC has MC bug. They did some changes on the beta this week, and all of the sudden MC bug is in TBC. I don't know what is causing that, but they need to check it out because now it's not only retail, it's also TBC, which means that there's something on the code that is creating this huge problem. And MC bug is not as big in TBC because you don't MC as much as a priest in TBC. You don't really have the globals for it most of the time. It's mostly 2v2, but it's still a problem. It's still a huge problem. Um, Another problem that I saw was the nameplates. So at the start of the beta and the testing in Arena, nameplates had a 40-yard range, like on retail, which meant you could see people behind pillars, you could see people in Arena, which is extremely important because you know the position, and in a positional game like TBC, it's actually even more important than retail because you don't have defensive cooldowns. So if you don't know where the other team is and where you're getting attacked from, it can create situations where you just flop. Um, and I know the 20-yard range was only increased, I think, in rats. So it was there for vanilla and TBC. I'm pretty sure it was there in TBC, but at least in PvP it should be 40 yards. It's just if its hashtag some changes exist, then that's one of the changes they should make, at least in PvP. They can just make it so you can have a 40-yard range in PvP, and think they should make it. It just creates a better gameplay experience for the players, in my opinion. Um, it's not game breaking. You will get used to it, I guess, but since we can't really use add-ons or anything, because it's actually bannable if you increase the yard range of nameplates, it's actually a bannable thing. But I think they should increase the nameplate, and I hope they increase the nameplate because some spells are actually have a yard range actually bigger than the nameplates, which is super weird while playing it. Another one that I saw, it's the stun resist from priests. From watching Mirror, I watched Mirror a bit. It seems like priest talent, it's a bit buggy. They have a talent in the discipline talent tree where they increase their resists to stuns by percentage. I don't remember how much. I think it's 15 or 20. And it just seems that it's super buggy. It doesn't seem like it's a low percent to resist, like 20% or 15%. It legit feels, from watching Mirror, it legit feels like it's a 50% chance to resist. And it seems like in Frost Nova, case, it seems that is a little bit buggy. And I hope they fix that. I hope they check all the RNG stuff, because it seems like I remember RNG being a thing, but I don't remember priests resisting every single ship shot or kidney shot that a rogue did in a game. There were like 0 games where I remember a priest resisting 4 stuns in a row. It's buggy. In no way it's not bugged. And there's a clip of Mirror just being resisted on stuns like 3-4 times in the same game, and it doesn't feel like it's right. Another thing that it seems that is on the beta, it's the heartbeat thing, which means it's a classic thing, and it seems like it's working in TBC. So in classic, instead of having DRs, you have this heartbeat thing, which means that if I use freezing trap and someone gets in, they will get CC'd for 20 seconds, but there's a chance that the CC randomly breaks. This is what makes sap, sheep, fear in classic rake instead of anything else, right? So they removed this back in TBC and they added the DRs, which meant you could only really fear people for 10 seconds, then 8, then 6. And it doesn't feel like that in the beta. It feels like sometimes fear breaks randomly, even without dots. And from seeing some streams, it feels like a trap, for example, also breaks randomly. It doesn't seem like it's all CC. It feels like polymorph. It's fine, for example, but some CCs seem like they still have this this mechanic. But yeah, guys, these are the bugs that I think are the biggest problems with TBC beta. Obviously, like tornadoes in arena, I don't think it's a good thing. I don't know why they added, but it's compared to this, it's not as game breaking. Another thing that I want to talk it's about the rating requirements and the team starting at zero rating. The rating requirements I don't mind. I think it's actually a cool thing that they added in season one. Same with the title, Infernal Gladiator. I think the title for rank one, having a title for rank one in season one makes sense. I never understood why they didn't do this back in TBC class in TBC retail, but the team starting at zero rating, it's actually a fix that they shouldn't do. The reason why TBC arenas, Wrath of the Lich King arenas, and even Cataclysm arenas had the most participation in this game was due to this. People would make a team every week. They would do 10 games, even if it was 10 fast losses, and they would disband the team in the end just to get arena points. And even though it doesn't seem like it's a good thing for arena because PVers just go there, just lose or win fast, and then they piece it into the sunset until the next week. Still, this is good for arena because that's how some PVers actually started to PvP. And if you increasing the participation of the ladder, it's always a good thing. And they did this because they started at 1500 rating, which would still give them some points. If they start at zero rating, there's no reason to make a team and disband it in the end. You need to stick with it, which it seems a good idea on the paper, but it just prevents people from getting their rating and getting their points, which means that the PvEer has to do around 20 games to get the rating, or 20 wins to get the rating, which is more of a hustle. It's more annoying for them, which means most won't do it. And this is what I hope they do. I hope they make it 1500 again once you start the team and then go from there, because those players are really important that they go into PvP, because then the casual players face these PvEers and they have a chance to win and learn more, instead of just facing players that are PvP focused only, because that doesn't help you. If you're a new player, obviously it helps you grow and improve the game, your gameplay, but it doesn't really improve your experience, because if you're a new PvPer and you want to focus against PvPers and you want to focus on PvP and you face guys that PvP a lot, even if they are not better than you, they have more experience and they will completely destroy you in TBC. So having those players that just disband and form new teams every week, it's actually a good learning curve for new players in PvP. But yeah, I hope they also fix that. It makes no sense starting at zero. It doesn't prevent anything. the rating inflation will happen because you have the MMR system. You'll have teams around 2.8, 2.9 in the first season, maybe 2.7, depends on how many teams queue up. And that change doesn't really prevent it. It's not because of that that the rating is at 3K in retail. It's not really because of that. It's because they changed the MMR system, and I think it was Imop or Kata. But yeah, guys, TBC beta has been really buggy, and there are some leaks that say that Burning Crusade comes on the 1st of June. I don't think it will, but if it does, I hope they fix all of this before. Like especially the pet AI, the froze novas, and the team in nameplates. I think those are the biggest problems, and obviously the heartbeats, removing the CC randomly. But yeah, like even with those bugs, I'm super excited for TBC. I didn't get into the beta for the first time, um, but I'm super excited about TBC, and I expect big things for the expansion in 2021, which is kind of funny. And yeah, I'm still waiting for it. I want to go ham on TBC and have a lot of fun. Um, but yeah, guys, thanks for watching the video. Uh, subscribe the Subscribe to the channel if you want to follow. I will make a lot of content during TBC. I will make guides and actually make some videos with gameplay. I'm just waiting for it to come. But yeah, thanks for watching. Peace.